Hello, this is the price action for yesterday, the EURUSD 3-minute chart. We had a range day. Let's go up to the 15-minute chart to see how this formed. So the day prior, we had this huge sell-off and we've channeled down and we've broken out of that channel and there's been a range coming into yesterday. And we have broken out of that range and we've channeled up there. We've overshot the channel. So if you're around at that time of the day and you see the overshoot before the London Open, just drop in. So you just put your low to the overshoot area and then put to the first high, and that's your range. So that's what you're looking at, and you're thinking, well, we're probably going to be in that for a little while. Maybe we fail out of there, or we break out of there during our session. So you really should just look at your 15-minute chart just to sort of get an idea of the overall bigger picture. Lance Beggs would call that your battlefield. So, and I think that's a good description of it. Yeah, so it sort of is like a double top, and it fails out there, and it heads on down, retests this range again, and heads on up. So it's like a breakout retest, and then during the Euro session, it sort of heads up. Looks like it's going to head up quite strongly, but just fizzles out. So let's go look at the trades for the day. So last night it was pretty easy, I think. So we've had this overshoot. So at the start of the night, I'm looking at this, and I can see the overshoot occur. So I've already got my purple channel on there. I can see this is a kind of a bigger channel, and we break out of there and we are overshooting. So I am looking for some sort of battle at the top here, but I am expecting it to come back. What I do is I draw this orange range. So I just do the same thing. Once this overshoots, I just pull up until we get to the first high, and that's my range. That's your mini battlefield there. And then we have a breakout here of that. It does win, but it's before the open, and I was just watching it. I just marked it up because I could see, oh yeah, it's one that little battle is going to create a new high, and it did that. So it's sort of micro double bottom, and then we've headed on down, and we've failed out of this range. So now we're expecting to come down. Maybe we get our two legs. So at the start of the night, I'm just watching, and I see this break up. It fails right there, and I just dropped in my limit order, and yeah, we got those two legs back. And I also pull this out because now I've got that lower high. So now I know that channel is that long. So I could see the exit. I know where the edge of the channel is probably the exit. I exited a bit early, but I already know that. So we'll just delete off that. We don't need that micro channel anymore. And then we hit into that channel and we just reversed. Now you may be thinking, why is this just reversing right there? And there's nothing. It just sort of goes back the other way. Well, we're in a trading range, so we've had a big up and now we've had a big down. So we're in a trading range, and a lot of times in trading ranges you'll get those two legs and reverse. So it just does those two legs and then just reverses at the bottom of the range. By this time, you should already have your pink range on there. Realizing that we're in a range, you may be thinking, oh, we may end up with it tilted. We may end up having to tilt the range, or we could have to. Oh, I can't actually move this range; it's locked. We could have to tilt it or anything like that. But at that stage, you're just keeping it flat until you got that information. Anyway, we end up spiking up again, so quite strongly, and we're heading up, and we've got those two legs again. There is a battle in here. And there is a trade in there. So this is what we're playing. We're playing these little pockets, these little ranges, and we break out of there quite strongly. So yeah, maybe you do get the second leg. Maybe you do buy in there and take that trade, and you're going to come up and retest the high. I did not take this trade, but I did see it form. So you can clearly see, like, that's where everyone's got their stop. So essentially, we're just trading while everyone's exiting. So that battle is won about there. So it breaks out and then it holds. And then it pushes above that high, and everyone who's got their stop on there or expecting to come down a little bit, that fails. Because you can see how strong this move is, and you can see how strong this move is. So once you get over 3 bars closing on their lows, you're usually going to get a second leg down, and you can just sell the first pullback. It's the same on this occurrence, and we are in a range. So this sort of is just a brand new move up. And then we start channeling up here, and we fail out the top there. It's also a double top on the bigger time frame. So I've got my 15-minute time frame running just here, and I can see that it's double topping as well. And we've clearly got a channel, and we've clearly failed out that channel, and it looks like there's been at least 3 presses on there. This is a bigger pattern, so maybe more bars required to head on down, which was the case if you want to head all the way down to here and you're looking at the 15-minute. So we end up, I ended up taking this trade. So you are expecting this to break. So, you get those 3 bearish bars, a break, and then you get the retest. So that's your 2 legs down. And then you get this other little retest here. And this may trick you into thinking, oh, we're going to head down again because we've had 1 leg pullback, 2 legs, and we've had another leg, 1 leg pullback, 2 legs. So we're probably going to do 1 leg pullback, 2 legs. And that does happen a lot in trading ranges. You just head up and down, up and down. And it could happen there, but it doesn't happen. And this is just not, this is just not strong enough to negate this move. And this is actually channeling now. So this is actually a bullish move. It's actually a bullish pattern in this case. So because you've had this move play out, yeah, maybe this can come back and retest here, but realistically, you're probably channeling by now. The highs are being sold by the bears. So each high is just being sold. It's weakening. And this channel is it looks like it's going to fail. So you're actually better off going long in that circumstance, but I've marked it as short because at this stage you should be thinking that this is going to fail to break out. Like that's the you've just double topped. You're expecting this to have some sort of impact. If you break straight out of here and you just shoot out, then yeah, you've broken the double top. You're expecting a measured move up of at least this range. But that doesn't happen as often. So anyway, we start channeling and we get another rejection here, and it is sort of a little bit lower, but nonetheless, that is still part of that bigger move. That's still double topping. So a double top can last a long time on this bigger channel here, because there's many bars for this range. We're looking at it on a smaller time frame. So yeah, you can go short there, and once you go short here, I did go short here again. You'll see it overshoot. So once it overshoots, your lows are here. So you're trying to exit at the lows. So you exit at the lows, and you are channeling. So maybe you get that third push up again. This again is a bullish move. See how it overshoots? Like we're expecting this to fail and come back up again. So when you see that, you got to get out. Once you got to look for these micro channel overshoots, you got to realize that this is probably channeling now, down, up, down, up. So it should be start to become obvious. This is the good trade here. This is your triple test here, and it's like a triple test along here, and this is actually the end of the double top on the bigger time frames. So you've overshot, it's failed. We're expecting 2 legs back, so you can go short there. You can also think, well, this may be the end of the actual move now. This may lead to a bigger move down. So if you are going to take that trade, you have to have a swing stop. If you're playing this bigger channel here, you're not scalping out, you have to set your stop, up high. So you're trading very small and you're expecting the whole way down to here. Maybe you do a 2-to-1 there. Yeah. So your risk is 1 and your reward will be 2. And that's sort of what you're looking for there. But you really need a wide stop when you're trading bigger patterns. Using tiny stops for bigger moves is a really not a good decision unless you've got. It does work. Like if it happens below the move, usually if it breaks out of any bigger resistance, there's going to be more stuff going on. But if it fails down here, lower inside here, it's you can have a smaller stop. The stop is probably just outside the range, but because we've broken out of this and we're broken above these highs, there's more stuff going on. We're playing a bigger pattern, bigger stop. Anyway, so we head on up here, and then we create this lower high. This is a great trade. This is so obvious that it's failed again, failed again here. So once it's failed on this lower high, it's hit into this again. So this is like how many times has it failed here? 1, 2, 3. It's like the 5th time. So there's a very high probability that the bears have weakened this, and it's heading on down. And yeah, you just take that trade and you just ride that trade all the way down. I did not take that trade because I was stopped trading by bar 50. This is another great trade. I mean, this is just so obvious to me as well. I mean, the failure occurs here. We sort of overshoot this micro channel line. So you are still doing that thing where you see the overshoot, you draw your little range, and then you play the smaller battles in here, and we head on down again to the other side of the channel, and then we overshoot again, and then we create this range again here. See how the overshoots show you the pockets of what's going on. Overshot again, and we're overshooting this micro channel line. We're also overshooting the bigger channel, so we get bigger range, and then you get 2 legs back to the EMA, and you can go short there for a scalp, and then we come back up again and we double top. We're sort of double micro double topped and micro double topped. There's like a double top there, and you just drop in and you trade down to the lows again, and that was the end of the night. One of the most important things to see though, when you're looking at pullbacks and things, is to see them as full trends. So instead of looking at this as just as a pullback, this is actually on a smaller time frame a complete trend of its own. So once you can start to see the trend play out, and you'll see the move down, the break, the retest, and there's the higher low. You can get in, so you can kind of watch it on the smaller time, on this larger time frame in this circumstance, but understand that these are full trends going on here. This is a really big range on another time frame, and once you can start to see that, you'll know where to enter better. There are other things, like if you're looking at like this here before the start of the night. So these are all bullish patterns. We can clearly see that it's had the 3 presses here. So that's where you enter. So sometimes if you're taking second entries and stuff, you'll think that this is the entry here, but it's actually not. The entry is actually here. So even on these ones, even this, you can see that it's sort of pressed on there 3 times, and there's a wedge there, and there's 3 presses here. So instead of going along there, and it's even at the channel line, so they're even better entries. So they become bullish, even though this may look bearish to you if you're new. These are all bullish pullbacks. So that's it.